What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Erin, and this is Erin On Demand, a place for entrepreneurs and content creators looking to build your brand, business, and impact. And y'all, today we are talking about personal brands versus business brands. And I do have a whole separate video on should you create separate pages for your business or should you have it all under one page. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. I break down a little bit more of why you should or shouldn't have separate pages. So in this video, I'm mainly going to break down how to make a strong personal brand versus a strong business brand on Instagram. Now, here's the first thing that I want to share is that stop feeling like they should be completely separate. And this is where most people kind of drop the ball, is because you're making separate pages for a business that could really just be housed under one page with your personal and business brands morphed into one great brand, and you really just don't need all of the extras. This is a rule of thumb. A business brand should feel personal, and a personal brand can include business. So don't feel like they have to just be totally separate entities from each other. We are definitely in a time where people are very interested in the person who started the brand. So even if the brand has a separate page, just know that people are also interested in the personal brand. So let's get into personal brands first, and I'm going to share with you guys some examples of some great personal brands that I love following on Instagram, and I think they are executing at a super high level. So first, the tips. Personal brands should tell a story and have a mission attached to them. So a lot of people who want to build their personal brands, I will go on their page and it really doesn't say anything. And I think a lot of people put their efforts in the wrong places. So you're trying to make your Instagram look super perfect, or you're not putting enough effort into making it look somewhat decent. The visuals either are there very strongly and there's no context to them, or the visuals aren't good and there's still no context to it. So you really want to make sure that you can find that balance of not overkilling with the photo shoots and the super high edited pictures, but still bringing that authenticity to your Instagram. And really within those first 6 to 9 grids, including like your bio, your picture, your grid, people should have somewhat of an idea of the type of person that you are, whether it be they get something from your personality if you're smiling a lot in your pictures, or they get a good sense of what you do if you offer a lot of business tips on your page. So just think about those things. What story are you telling with your personal brand, and what is your mission? Is it to inspire blah blah blah, or is it to sell blah blah blah, or is it to encourage happiness or just bring joy or make people laugh? What is your core mission, and how does your story tie into that? A personal brand also needs to show who you are and your interests. So if you have multiple interests, don't feel like with a personal brand you need to just pick one thing and go nose deep into that. If you like sewing and makeup and beauty, experiment with all of those things in your personal brand, because it should be a good reflection of who you are. A good rule of thumb that I have and I use with my clients is choose your top 3 attributes and decide how you are going to create content around those main 3 buckets or content pillars. And that is really going to help give your personal brand some diversity, but it's also going to help give it a little bit of structure and repetition, which we love in personal brands or any branding. It's all about the repetition. Another thing about personal brands is they should be understandable to someone who does not know you. And I find this to also be a big pain point in people who are trying to build their personal brands, is that you have all these random pictures with people who we have no idea who they are on your page, and you're not explaining it. You're not sharing what's going on in the moment. And that, for a personal brand, is very important, to just tell stories with your posts. Share where you are, what you're doing. If you can't think of any content to create surrounding like what makes me interesting, just tell us about what's happening in the picture and create a story around that. So for example, if you had a date night and you got all glammed up, and one of your content pillars is fashion, then maybe you could have done a swipe over post of like a couple different outfit ideas for the date night, and then the last one is a picture of you with your boo with the outfit that you end up choosing, and then tell a story of like each of the different date night outfits and why you chose the one that you liked. So that's what I mean by it should be understandable and still provide value for people who don't know who you are. So the next thing it should be is engaging, and I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory, but always engage your audience, whether that be through calls to action or just simply very interesting content, swipe overs, saves, shares to story. That is all forms of engagement, and the more you can entice your audience to do those things, the better. It should also add value to wherever you see fit. So if your page's mission is to be funny, then you need to have lots and lots of funny posts. If your page's mission is to be, I don't know, to share beauty and fashion tips, then we need to see a lot of tangible takeaways from your post. So whether that be you breaking down different ingredients in your skincare, or you sharing with us different outfit ideas, or whatever, but just things for your audience who is interested in the same things to find high value in. Another way that you can create value is simply by tagging where you got things from. One of the biggest questions I see on a lot of personal brands Instagrams is, where'd you get your coat? Where'd you get your rug? Where'd you get your this? Where'd you get your that? And if you just tag like pretty much everything visible in the photo, that is also high value for your audience. And it can help you get more exposure, because those brands will likely want to share or repost your content if it's great and it matches with their brand as well. And then the next thing for a personal brand is it should look relatively polished. So when I say polished, I really mean, you can use a similar filter. Just make sure your pictures are bright, they pop. They don't have to be filmed with a professional camera, but as long as the image quality is good, not even just with the image or video quality, but just the actual content of the image or of the caption should be polished. It should just be easy on the eyes, okay? And you will need to upload pretty frequently to keep people interested and engaged in your personal brand. Something that a personal brand does not need to be is super aesthetic. Oh my gosh, the word aesthetic is just starting to make me queasy, but that's neither here nor there. It doesn't have to have this super professional feel. I always tell people, like, if this is not making you no money, you doing it like this, or if you don't see any increased engagement or any increased conversions from you spending so much time and money doing photo shoots and editing and having this and having that and making it look all perfect, and then when you post like a selfie and be vulnerable, that's the post that gets the most likes or the most comments or the most shares or saves. It's for a reason. So pay attention to the posts on your page that actually really perform well, and replicate that. Okay, so a couple of personal brands that I enjoy following are, the first one is Kami Crawford. She was Miss Teen USA. Now she's a co-host on Catfish, the MTV show. She is like beauty, she models, she is just so phenomenal, and she just keeps it so real with all of her posts. And so I just love her. She's super big into body image, and her page is definitely like on the more aesthetic side, but she posts pretty frequently. Now she's starting to post a lot more about the Black Lives Matter movement and speaking out about that. And her brand just looks so good. I feel like she shares really sweet moments while she's getting ready for shoots, while she's exercising. She shares lots of just fun moments throughout her journey on Catfish. So I just enjoy her style and just her. Like, she's just such a cool girl to follow. So she's a personal brand that I enjoy. The next personal brand that I love is Jayla Brene. So Jada is a mom influencer, and she has such a cute family, and she really documents her journey as a new mom and as a wife, and she just shares all of these super sweet moments with her adorable son. I just love following her because she, on the other hand, kind of unlike Kami, She doesn't have like this super defined look on her Instagram where she's using the same exact filter every time and like everything just looks so prim and proper, which is a big reason why I wanted to show this to you guys. She really capitalizes on the feelings, like having those transparent moments as a mom, sharing little clips of her son doing just the most funny things. So she has a great personal brand. Again, her upload frequency is very often. Like she uploads probably almost like once a day or maybe every other day, but she is very, very consistent. The next personal brand that I love is Julia Havens. Y'all know this is my girl. I don't know Julia personally, but she's my girl in my head. And I started following her a couple of years ago, but she is very into fashion, beauty, and home decor, and she and her husband vlog. She also uploads very frequently, and she has a lot of great tips, like just fashion hacks. She's always tagging where she got things from. She's always providing personal value. So if things go on sale that she loves, she'll post it into her Instagram story like, hey, this just went on sale. So she's just like that go-to girl that if you need a cute outfit and you don't want to spend a lot of money, or if you want some home decor inspo, she is the page that I would go to. And then lastly is Myleik Teal. She is the founder of Curlbox, and I just love her personal brand. Myleik does not give a doggone care about an aesthetic, and she really just is this hardworking woman who shares very inspiring moments from her life, from her being a business owner and her being a mom. So she has a podcast and she shares clips from her podcast on her Instagram. She shares things from Curlbox, which is her company. She shares moments of transparency. So Myleik is just like, she's just the bomb. She's goals. And so I really enjoy following her personal brand too. Again, it has some focal points: mom life, business, and like inspiration. So those are the 3 content pillars that I would take away from Myleik. Really, the business branding, you guys, surprise, surprise, but it should feel the exact same way as personal brands. And it should kind of be a mix of personable content and some curated content, which you can do for a personal brand too. I think it's a little less necessary to have curated content for a personal brand, depending on your mission and your goal. But for a business brand, if you are trying to convert people, trying to get the sale, some of that content can be a little more curated. You do, if you have a product or a service, want to showcase that in the best possible way. So some of your photos, you may want to use a photographer. You may want to invest in a little bit of graphic design work to be done to make some swipe over posts. And you can even do this stuff in Canva, you guys. You don't have to spend money. But I would say for a business brand, the biggest thing is having the mission, telling the story, and making your posts very engaging. Another tip for your business page is in your bio. You will want to be clear on what your business is, what you do, and who you serve. So those are some things that you're really going to want to make sure when people click on that page, they understand what your business is about and how it can be of service to them. Your business page should look organic but polished. Again, there's that word polished, but really I feel like it's just a matter of making sure that your content is easy on the eyes, and then making sure you have the calls to action. I can't stress this enough, and you guys will see in the examples what I mean by making it polished and having a little bit of curated but with a little bit of personable in there, so that it's a great mixture. The first one I want to share with you guys is Live Tinted. Live Tinted is Deepika, who is an Indian beauty influencer. This is her beauty line. She has these hue sticks that she created that can be color correcting sticks, makeup, like you can use it for blush, you can use it for lipstick, and it's these like super multifunctional color sticks basically. And she has created this brand and it feels so good to be on her page. It just looks so, it looks clean, but it doesn't look overly curated. It looks personable. You can see a lot of people using it. She shares how to use it in several different videos. She does lots of color swatches. She also shares lots of stories about women of color, what it means to have melanin and live a life in color, basically. So I just love her brand and all that she's doing. And her personal page doesn't look much different than Live Tinted, except she has more of a presence on her personal page. But this is exactly what I mean about having a great balance of your product, but also people, making it feel organic and real and authentic. Another great business page is Little Fish Accounting. This has a slightly different feel than the Hue Sticks, which it should, because it's a totally different type of business. But this is by Keela. She is an accountant and she helps small business entrepreneurs with their taxes. She has a page and she doesn't have a personal page. Like, she just kind of keeps it all under Little Fish Accounting. She pops in, gives some tax tips. She does have some more curated content where she's sharing different stats and different quotes and different tips and swipe over posts. So I think she does an amazing job at making sure that her audience understands what she does and how she can help them through her content. Another great personal brand is The Spice Suite, and this is one of my favorites. Her name is Angel and she calls herself the Spice Girl, and she's curated all of these amazing homemade spices, and she now has a store in DC. But on her page, she doesn't have a separate page for herself. She shares all of these different recipes on, making all of these delicious looking meals with her spices. She loves to cook. She has a store, and she just shares her journey as she cooks with these spices, how to use them, and just how to just love what you eat and make it look so like spiced up. And she has the most fun, funky, like eclectic style. You just can tell she just lives such a spicy life. So I love following her. I think she does a great job at making that spice theme interweave into her personal brand because of the personality she has. And so it really works. You don't get sick of seeing it because she doesn't just promote like, hey, new spice, this is our garlic pepper or whatever. She really like uses the spices on her page in her everyday life, which encourages and entices people to want to buy them for themselves. So those are some of my favorite business brands who either have separate accounts and they feel really good, or just house it under one house and it all works seamlessly. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I think having a personal brand and a business brand is very important in growing whatever it is that you want to do. Even if you don't have a business, working on creating a strong personal brand, it helps. It helps so much with getting jobs, with starting a business and giving you ideas on what type of business to start. So it is necessary. If you guys have any questions on personal or business branding, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer any questions that you have. And on that note, I will see you guys later. I love you. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe and become a part of my internet family. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.